Hey everybody, it's Warne here, hanging out on a blustery, cold Saskatchewan winter day in the middle of a big blizzard. So I've been up all morning trying to get together, I think, what I hope will be a cool intro to my new YouTube channel, WW Lifestyle. And it's been entertaining to say the least. I've been thinking about this for so long. And of course, in Warren fashion, leave it to last minute to sit down and do this. But here we are, repeating a conversation that my youngest daughter Grace and I had back in May. We were at my mom and dad's place, a little fishing lake in Saskatchewan. Anybody that's been to Saskatchewan knows that the ice has basically just come off the lake in May. And we're sitting on the dock having a daddy-daughter discussion and talking about life and school and the fact that COVID had her really down. Hadn't been able to see her boyfriend. It was hard on the kids. It was super hard on the kids. And I said, well, let's go for a swim. No, Dad, I can't go. I said, come on, let's go for a swim. So I jump in the water, and I can barely breathe, and I'm huffing and puffing, trying not to have a stroke and a heart attack because it's like not much above freezing. And I go, come on. She goes, Dad, you're crazy. She goes, why would you do that? Why? Why would you jump in the water and do that to yourself? And I said, because you got to challenge yourself. I know it's going to suck when I get in that water. I know it's going to suck. But I said, you got to challenge yourself every day to something that sucks. I've always believed that. Always. And I freaking get burnt for it sometimes. But I always do something that sucks. And basically, getting in the water, doing that, I said it makes me stronger. I can mentally handle things more. My physical strength goes up. My ability to withstand pain and cold, like an intense cold, goes up. And that's this controlling this, right? So that's what I talked to her. We discussed that. And I said, you need to do more things like that, Grace. She says, well, Dad, I hate to fail. I don't want to fail in front of friends. If I fail at something, I get really freaked out and I don't like it. And sometimes you get made fun of. And I said to her, I said, but Grace, when you failed, did you learn something? I said, so when you wrote your test the other day, she got one or two questions wrong. And she's a brilliant kid, like high 90s brilliant kid, like gets from her old man, whatever. Because I never had high 90s. But I said, when you got those test answers wrong, would you go back and write that exam and put the same answers down? Or would you change your answers? She goes, I'd change them. I said, then you learned from your failure, right? She goes, yeah. I said, exactly. A failure is not a failure if you learn from it. That's a beginning. That's what makes you stronger, is your failures. That's how you learn. No one knows everything. Everyone will fail. And Lord knows I've failed a lot, in a lot of ways. And I've done my best to learn from them over my life. And in the last couple of years, a lot of my failures have finally settled in here and here, and I've learned an immense amount. So that is what started, that's what made me really want to start this channel, was that discussion with Grace out on the pier at my parents' cabin after the ice had been off the lake, and I jumped in and she thought I was nuts. That's what started this whole wanting to do. I wanted to tell that story. It meant so much to me. So this whole channel is dedicated to sharing the inspiration that I have, found in people my whole life. I've been very, very fortunate to have been coached by some of the greatest coaches in the world. Track and field. My uncle Lyle Sanderson, an absolute legend. I've learned from different coaches, different neighbors, different people involved in the photographic industry, the music industry, all this. There's so many inspirational people that I have been very fortunate to have received some inspiration from. And I am an accumulative inspiration from all these people. That is where I come from and my lifestyle and how I live it. So that being said, I really wanted to bring this channel to be able to share with you this inspiration from these people. And a lot of it will be coming right from some of these people themselves. I'm excited to have a podcast, YouTube channel where I'm setting up a whole area to do podcasts when we can do one-on-one in-person podcasts. I think that's cool. Instead of having to do them Zoom and all that stuff. But we don't know with COVID how we're all going to end up. But basically that's what's starting this whole channel is about. It is time to do this. A year ago, I was diagnosed being morbidly obese, on the way down a shitty path. Who knows if my blood pressure was through the roof. I was on super high blood pressure meds, all that kind of stuff. So I walked into my doctor's office at 281 pounds, and she told me I was pre-diabetic, like literally on the cusp of clicking over the diabetic threshold, type 1. And my dad is a diabetic. My granny was a diabetic. It runs in my family. And she told me if I didn't smarten up, I was going to be going down a really bad path. I walked out of her office that day and changed my life. I made a conscious decision that I was going to take control of my body. And I wasn't going to let it go down that path. It's been a very challenging, very educational year of my life. This last 365 days to the day. I hit as low as 216 pounds. Today I'm 221, almost 222, because I'm starting to put a little more meat on. But that's where I sit. All natural, all just eating proper, training hard, making the connection from my mind to my body. Working at being able to control my body with my mind. That was fairly easy. That was the easy part for me. The hard part for me is my mind controlling my mind. So this channel will have a bunch of that in it as well. Interviews with doctors, psychologists, all that kind of stuff. Motivators, people that, that are experts in helping your mind, taking over your own mind and being able to control your own mind. That's where I have more issues, for sure. And so that's going to be a big part of it. I'm excited. The fitness part, obviously, I love to train. I love the gym. It has become, I hate addiction, because I hate the word addiction. And it's like obsessed. People say I'm obsessed. Well, maybe, but in my opinion, obsessed is what the lazy call the dedicated. I'm dedicated to living a better life so that I can be around for myself, my kids, my wife, my family, my friends, anybody that has anything to do with me, that digs who I am and what I'm about, or anybody else for that matter. I want to be around for everybody. I want to be around to be able to do this. Honestly, a year ago, 365 days ago today, if I hadn't have made that decision and I'd have gone down that path with the massive blood pressure issues, obesity, I could barely tie my shoes I couldn't even bend over my gut to tie my shoes. I went from a 44 to a 30-inch waist in 365 days. And as hard as it was, it's a lot easier than I thought it would be. Part of it is the nutrition. I've got it down pat for me. I'm not saying that what I am is the end all be all. There's many ways to the finish line. I tried almost every freaking diet known to man in the last 365 days. I tried them and legitimately researched them and tried them. I documented this whole journey for the last 365 days. I documented it hardcore so I know exactly where I was and I can share what I did with everyone. I look back through my photos and I just cringe. But I look at my new photos now and I realize what I've really done in the last 365 days. I've made myself healthier. My body is better. If I hadn't have been able to physically take myself into a better place, and you don't have to get jacked, and you don't have to get ripped or any of that stuff. That's my choice. That's where I want to be. You don't have to do that. But by moving more and opening up your lungs and your cardiovascular system and all that kind of stuff, you make your body stronger. You make it fitter, better. And by making that better, your brain has a place to work and to work on itself. If your body is falling apart, it's pretty hard for your brain to hang in there. That's a fact that I know. And I had to work on my physical fitness to then work on my mental fitness. And as much as they're intertwined, they're not the same. That's a fact. So I'm really excited to bring this to everyone, all my inspiration, and again, a lifetime of inspiration, not just the last year. But what happened in the last year has really opened up my mind and my soul to what I really wanted to share. And that, again, is the inspiration that has built me. And I'm really excited to bring it to everyone. Like I said to Grace on the end of that pier, there will always be failures. As long as you learn from those failures, it's not a failure. There will be lots of failures with me starting this channel. That I promise you. I guarantee there's going to be stuff you can look at and go, what the heck was he doing? But every one of those failures, and I'm very open to constructive criticism, feel free to post. That's what's going to make me better. But I can promise you that every day I will work at getting better. And I will take the failures that I've made, that are my personal failures, and I will do everything I can to make them right, make them a success. So those of you who believe in what I guess I can do to help people by passing on everything I've learned in my lifetime and amazing inspiration, please hit the subscribe button, hit the like. You know, if you're feeling generous, this whole thing's new to me, but it's going to be pretty damn fun. I'm excited. Can't wait to show everybody, and be able to share with everyone my vision of what's in my brain of what this channel should be, to be Warne Noyce and my lifestyle. So till then, my name is Warne Noyce. Have fun and stay tuned.